One of the best moments for a new author is hearing your words read really well for the first time. And I don't just mean read accurately, I mean actually read really well. But for a lot of people, having an audiobook narrated professionally is really expensive and quite out of reach, especially if it's one of your first novels. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can make an amazing audiobook using ElevenLabs and where you can publish it and just get started. So let's dive straight in. So for the example in this book, I'm going to be using a romance book that I wrote myself called Playing with Diamonds, A Mayfair Affair. It's a romance book that I use to help promote my wife's newsletter, My Romance Reads. Now, all you have to do at first is to literally click onto the upload button and go and find your book, and then you can just upload the EPUB version, the PDF version, or even a doc, and then it starts processing it straight away so that you can get that book uploaded and it starts looking at the text. Now, as soon as it's uploaded, which took no time at all, by the way, you can then select a different voice. Now from here, you've got different voices like American, Australian, there's Irish, there's all different types of ones. And you can just pick one that works well for you, and you can go and change this later, so don't worry if it's not exactly the right one. Now my book is a romance book, it's quite a saucy, sexy book set in Mayfair in London, so I definitely want to have a British reader. And I think I really want to have a man speaking as well, because it's a romance book. I think most of the listeners are going to be women, so I think it will sit better with them having a man there from Britain, but you can definitely change this later on. So I'm just going to go and select George. You can listen to examples of all of what they different sound like, and I'm going to go ahead and create the project. Now what it does then is it starts uploading the text and processing it so that we can work out exactly what the book's going to sound like. Now it's uploaded. Now of course there's going to be some things that aren't quite right. So for example, it's got some gaps in here, unknown and python.docx. Like this must just be from where I've created the document, and it's some of the metadata from the document, and it's all broken it down into chapters already, and that's literally done. So I can go ahead and start playing this and see what it sounds like. So I'm going to click play now.
Chapter 1. The first rule of being a new girl in a centuries-old diamond house was simple. Do not draw blood in the lobby.
Very good. That sounded great. And then there's this. Let's have a look at this one here. So the second rule is. So you can then go ahead and just listen to it to see what it's going to sound like. And
the second rule, as I discovered at 9:14 a.m. on a Monday in Mayfair, was never, under any circumstances, spill coffee on the CEO. Marble floors polished.
Right. So that did sound good, but then at that point I thought actually maybe it'd be better to have a break here. So I can go and head here and click add a break. So you do need to listen to your book to make sure that you're happy with how it sounds. Let's just put in 2. Okay, let's see what this bit sounds like again. So I'll play it from there.
The second rule, as I discovered at 9:14 a.m. on a Monday in Mayfair, was never, under any circumstances, spill coffee on the CEO.
1, 2.
Marble floors
Perfect.
Until my reflection.
That's it. So then you go through and just make sure you're happy with how it's sounding. Really quite straightforward. Now from here you can also change different models. So you can go for a more expensive model if you want to have it very expressive, or you can go for a cheaper model if it's something like just reading a document or something like that. I've just gone for the one that's just in the middle there. So I just kept it as straightforward as possible. Now it's important to make sure you're choosing the right voice. You know, a lot of people have fights over which audio narrator they prefer. Do they prefer Stephen Fry for Harry Potter, or do they prefer Jim in America? Obviously, you've got to pick the Stephen Fry one. But you can just choose your different voice down here. So I could change it to something like Callum, who's a husky trickster. And let's play this bit, see what it sounds like.
Like a different species, stretched.
Oh, let's try Callum.
Chapter 1. The first rule of being the new girl in a centuries-old diamond house was simple. Do not draw blood in the lobby.
There you go. So you can change the voice that easily. And from here, there's some slightly different ones, like you can add your own voice in there, or you can change the voice slightly. These are all AI tools, and you can remove background audio in case there's any problems with how you've recorded stuff. If you've got the paid version as well, you can use sound effects and different music, and you can even upload some of your own music. So if you've got any background music you want to use, and it's as simple as that. And once you've done, you can then export it. And really, it is as simple as that. You just got to upload it. Just start listening through and just make sure you're happy about it. And then once you're done, you can then go and upload it. So the next part after this is to work out how you're going to distribute it. Now, ElevenLabs do actually have their own publishing house kind of thing. It's called 11 Reader. It's quite a new part of 11Labs, but it means you can put your book directly onto the app and people can start listening to it. And obviously you've also got Spotify for audiobooks, which is fantastic. I've got books on Spotify, which I really enjoy. You've got all different kinds of categories on there, and you get paid for how many listens you get. YouTube is a great place for uploading your book, especially if you're monetized, because you can get more money from YouTube ads for the amount of time it's been listened to. Or it could just be a great way to just get more free readers. And in audio is another place where you can do it, which is kind of Findaway Voices, it used to be called. Now, a lot of people ask, can you record on ElevenLabs and then upload to Amazon on Audible? Technically, no, you can't do that. Amazon doesn't allow AI voices unless you've generated it through their own platform, which is ACX. ACX is nowhere near as good as ElevenLabs at creating the voices. So I think they don't technically allow it. I know a lot of people have uploaded their ElevenLabs books onto Amazon, and I know people have also used Findaway Voices as a kind of back route for getting into their books into Amazon, but technically that is against Amazon's terms of service, so you can't really do that. Now, the best thing about uploading the books with ElevenLabs is just how flexible it is. Like, you saw how quick it was to upload it. You'll listen through and edit it just to make sure you're happy with it, and you can make adjustments, like if you need a particular emphasis on a particular part, or you want to make sure that it's slowed down or there's pauses added and things like that. But it is super straightforward to use. If you've ever used a tool like ChatGPT or even Canva or something like that, you'll be able to use it. It's very straightforward. Now, for me, this isn't necessarily to replace all audiobooks. You know, it's if you are at a point where you can get a real narrator to narrate it for you, or you can get multiple actors to narrate it for you, that could be a great solution, because you know, people do like to identify with real people, and also then you've got another person who's speaking about your books in sort of publicity and things like that. But for a lot of authors, it's very expensive to get these sort of books done, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars to get a book narrated professionally. So if you can't afford that, this is a great option to get your books out there in the first place. If you're a new author and you really want to just get your book out there and you want to get it into the world and you want to get people to start listening to it, ElevenLabs is the best option for you to try and get your first audiobook narrated.